We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
Oh, wow. Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Oh, welcome out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com, and most importantly, SideScrollersPlus.com. What's going on, everybody? Hey, happy Tuesday to you. Man, we had a good one for you. I'm Stuttering Craig. Great to see you guys. Glad you're with us. Hello. Good morning, Blabs.
Hi.
Blabs is freaking out, man.
A little bit.
She's over here just scrolling Twitter. What are people thinking about Harry Potter?
Skidson.
What
Anyway, hi guys. Thanks for being back.
Was yesterday a disaster?
I mean, it wasn't a disaster, but the anxiety was through the roof yesterday morning prepping. As in case the chat doesn't know, I'm a bit of a egghead, I guess. So hosting is not fun for me.
Well, you did great, and by that I mean I watched a couple minutes, and the show didn't explode, which was good.
Listen, I did my bestest.
There you go. Well, yes, you did fine, and that's really all we can ask.
And I didn't burn it all down, so...
I saw that there was a new Montez yesterday, huh?
Oh my god, okay, yeah, last second. It was like 40 minutes before we went live, and I was like, Phoenix, can you do something with Macron, please? Because he just... And I just kept thinking, like, when she does that, I hear her going, bitch! You know?
Well, I'll tell you what, our guest today probably has no idea what we're talking about when it comes to Montez, but we're hoping that our guest will be able to introduce themselves to Montez. But first, let's let you introduce yourself to our guest today, Leaflit. Hello, good morning.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi.
I'm Leaflit. I'm a streamer and I don't know, honestly, a game developer, I guess.
Yeah, I saw that. You got a game out and stuff. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've been working in the gaming industry for a while.
Yeah,
Long time.
That's awesome. Walk me through this. You have a game out. You have how did that come about? Where you just I just want to make a game.
Oh well, it's more. I play a lot of like Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder, and I just wanted to make one that I wanted to play. So we just made our own, and we were like, what if it's for online? Because I play online only. I'm not really a people person, so playing it online was was perfect, right? So I was like, well, what if it's made for online, and that's kind of free to play and everything.
You're like, I'm not really a people person at all. I love that. That's great. Well, you stream regularly over on Twitch, but you have a YouTube channel as well. Kind of, you want to tell everybody who doesn't know who you are exactly kind of what you stream and all that fun stuff?
Sure. So I stream. I do a lot of. I mean, lately I've been doing a lot of more content, looking at kind of actually something along the lines of what you guys do. Just talk about stuff kind of recent events, common sense stuff. Just seeing the world go crazy, and then just saying just the normal thing, and then it's everyone going crazy about it. So, and then one of my my mods was you should put that on YouTube, and I was like, I don't have time for that. I'm developing a game right now, and they're like, what if we do it? I'm like, all right. And so that's kind of how the YouTube happened. So I'm working on the game. I also have I don't even know what to call it, I guess I actually have other talents that we manage as well. Only one right now. We have another one coming soon, but it's kind of this big kind of multimedia music and novels and stuff like that.
Awesome. Hell yeah, that's great. Well, good for you. That's a lot of people are really excited that you're on today, us included. Glad you're with us.
Thank you.
Love your model, by the way. Really,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
really awesome. That's good stuff. Walk me through this real quick. As somebody who I've said this before, I am not super familiar with the VTubing space. I fully admit this, right? But I'm learning as we've had VTubers on our show. So, and I was watching a little bit of your stream yesterday. And by the way, thanks for waking up early with us.
Okay, no. Thanks for having me again.
Of course. You have a slime variation or something? Like,
That's actually the original. I'm actually a slime. So like,
okay,
my character is like I'm a slime, and the one that you saw is actually the original. So that's like the first one that I had, and then I don't know. I just wanted like a kind of like more humanoid looking one. And I'm like I'm like half slime, half fairy. So
you know,
it's like.
I got to be honest, didn't expect to start the show having a conversation about a half slime, half fairy, but I really appreciate that.
Well, see, like now that I have that though, I'm not gonna have anyone saying that like I copied their character, because that's like that combination. It's like who would do that, right? So
right, exactly. Who would do that?
Leaflit
would do that. That's good. Well, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Join us. We are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. We're live for a couple hours, and Leaflit will be joining us throughout the duration of the show. Hit the thumbs up button. We'd really appreciate that, as that helps us get discovered over here on YouTube on a stream-to-stream basis. The more thumbs up, the better discoverability, and the faster the chat, the more YouTube likes to push it out. That's just the way it works. It's not just what they say. We got a big week ahead of us over here. We announced our first big event we have coming up here in just a few weeks, called King of the Couch. That's going to be Saturday, June 14th. It's like a big video game competition where we get a bunch of our friends together, and they're going to be competing on couch co-op games. It's coming the pre-show, and everything is going to be happening on YouTube, but it'll be available exclusively over on the main show. Will be exclusively over on Side Scrollers Plus. So join us for King of the Couch, June 14th. Announced a couple of our first competitors, including Lumpy and Wicked Virtue, who will be joining us, as well as a couple of games. You can find that out by following us over on X. This afternoon, well, we usually stream via StreamYard. This afternoon at 3 o'clock, we are going to be doing a technical test for what we're calling Side Scrollers 2.0, where we're going to be just kind of upgrading a lot of tech stuff. And if you were with us last week, you guys tuning in, you know it was absolute chaos and fire. So make sure you guys show up today, because we're hoping it's less chaos and fire, but it'll probably be chaos and fire. So show up for that. That'll be this afternoon at 3 o'clock on YouTube, on Kick, on Rumble, and everywhere else that we stream. Obviously on Plus. Tomorrow we have a big day, Leaflit. I don't know if you know this, but it is a very big day, as it is Blabs' birthday. Let's go!
Happy birthday!
Super old 29. Yay! One more year, and then it's like all downhill. I hear.
I don't want to hear it.
I think Leaflit's upset right now.
Yeah, I'm just pissed off the new guest.
What did you say? What did you? What? Yes.
Hag.
We'll do a big birthday celebration tomorrow, which would be great. Looking forward to that, or will we? And this weekend over on Side Scrollers Plus, we have Blabs. Speaking of Blabs, she's going to be trying. Leaflit, have you ever tried Bluebell ice cream before?
Yes, it's pretty good. It's everywhere here. So
Blabs had never tried it before. She came down to Texas and gave it a go. So she tried five flavors of Bluebell ice cream. You can get to see her experience of that over on Side Scrollers Plus.
Awesome.
So also this Friday at 7 o'clock Central Time, the first time we've done any sort of evening time programming here on the channel, Friday at 7 o'clock Central Time, the Nerd Duel finale, which is going to be excellent. We're taking the 6 winners from our Nerd Duel competition throughout the season, and they're all going to be competing live in front of a crazy audience. So make sure you guys show up for that this Friday at 7 o'clock. Okay, so a lot going on, as you can tell. Glad you're with us today. We always like to start the show, Leaflit, with Today in Gaming History. And I mentioned pre-show that usually we just kick each other in the balls for 2 hours. This is about where it starts.
Yep.
So,
Nice.
So Blabs, tell us, what do was today?
Well, don't you want to guess? Or have you seen it?
No, I have not. But go ahead.
You don't even want to guess. Wow, he's really disappointed in me. Okay, this was actually a pretty good run, I thought. Anyway, May 27th is Dragon Warrior releasing in Japan in 1986. We have Dragon Quest Heroes 2 releasing in Japan in 2016. And then Pac-Man Museum Plus releasing in 2022, making it 3 years old. Ta-da!
Okay. All right. So can you
Pretty
pull that
good.
up? Do not toss your hair back. Okay.
I did it. I got one right.
Blabs, I have a legit question for you.
Oh, what?
Okay. Do you understand that Dragon Quest and Dragon Warrior?
They're like the same, just the name change.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure you know that because Sam threw that out there. He's like, I don't think Blabs understands it. That's the exact same game. But yeah.
They're not the exact same game.
Well, same franchise.
Thank you. I know that. I go and Google stuff sometimes. See?
Little
Now I can do the flip turn because I was right.
Okay. Little known fact about Dragon Quest. Did you know that it initially failed dramatically when it was released in the United States? And they had so many copies of it that they actually gave it away for free with subscriptions if you subscribe to Nintendo Power. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Leaflit, did you ever know that?
I did not know that. That's crazy.
Fun video game trivia for you. That's actually
there's so many of them in circulation. What's their value? I really want to know.
Like the original Dragon Warrior game?
Yeah.
Probably not a lot because, like I said, they gave it away for free. But that is why Dragon Quest became so popular, was that they literally gave away the game for free with a copy of Nintendo Power, which is why I originally subscribed to Nintendo Power in the first place, and which is why Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest is such a popular franchise in the United States today. So now you know.
So, fun fact for you, Dragon Warrior on the NES, looking at the price charting website, a graded price might be $455.
Graded.
So it's not that bad. A new price is $280, complete is $58. Not that bad. Not that bad for something that was just given away for free. Do you have one?
No, I have a copy of it. Yeah, actually, I know I do. I got a copy of it in my closet.
Is it like open?
Yeah.
So you would just have like, it says loose price is $11.53. So I guess that's how much yours is worth then.
Yeah. It's also the only RPG I've ever beaten.
Ta-da!
Yeah. Leaflit, you're a big RPG fan?
Yes.
Okay.
I played
Oh yeah. Jeez.
a lot more back in the day. Like
I know. Yeah. For me, it's do you ever play Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior before?
actually, that franchise the funny thing is I actually stayed away from that franchise and Final Fantasy until like later. Actually, I was more into like Chrono Trigger, Super Mario RPG, like Mother. Those ones.
Right.
Yeah, those are the ones that I had. Yeah.
Did you ever play Secret of Mana?
Love that one.
Did you ever get it? Like, I think it's correct. The Secret of Mana, I believe, actually had like a 3-player option in it. Did you know
Yes,
that? Yeah.
it had 2, but I think if you had the multi-tap, I think you could do 3.
Right. When you go, and from what I recall, you actually unlock that feature like later in the game. Is that something like that?
You had to get like more than one character because you only started with one.
Right.
But the funny thing is when I played that game, I never actually played through the whole thing and beat it because the copy that I got, I think I got it from somebody. It had a high level save on it, and I would just mess around with it. So
Let's go. Let's go.
yeah.
Love that. Oh man, we all, it's funny when you back in the day, you'd borrow a game or you'd trade a game or something, then there'd be a save in it. You just start over and or you play that game. You have no idea what you're doing. It's awesome.
That's like crazy because you think about it like in terms of nowadays, like I don't think anyone would have that experience anymore, right?
No, it's impossible unless
Yeah.
unless I was still, I was thinking like maybe possibly with an Xbox 360 hard drive, maybe potentially if you were to give somebody your physical hard drive, but that's still like 20 years ago, the Xbox 360, which is
Man.
crazy to think about. I just want to slowly put a noose around my neck and just I'm just thinking about that. By the way, Blabs is now 29, so there's that.
Well, no, not yet. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ha! I'm still 28 today.
It hurts to think that I began my career online when you were 9.
Ta-da!
Oh dear.
I should go and find a photo of myself as 9 and send it to Craig and be like, I was this big.
Like, look at my 10-year-old daughter in the next
That's
room
true.
over. Like the fact that
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: your kids are a lot taller than I am, so it's
true.
So you need to show like a really short photo of me, and it'll do more, I think.
This is true. Yes, this is very true. My Blabs is an elf. So there you go.
Yeah.
All we
Fun
need.
fact for the chat: his 12-year-old daughter roasted me for my height when I was in Texas. She's 12.
Yeah. Well,
She roasted me.
you know, to kind of go along with the theme with Leaflit over here, if we just maybe slime you, perhaps you got the elf slime thing going on over here, which would be.
I feel like no.
Oh man, that'd
It'll
be
go
awesome.
terribly wrong on the internet.
All right. Well, a lot of people are really excited today. We have a lot of news to get into. We have a sponsor today, which is huge. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. We do have our Montez goal today, which is 20. We'll hit, and Leaflit will be able to choose our Montez animation today if we get to our 20 yellow supers, which I think we will. But first, Cajun Corey came in, says, I saw a dwarf climbing down a prison wall. I thought to myself, that's a little condescending.
I kind of like that one. That one's good.
Let's go, Cajun Corey. Just offend people. Hey, can you hear the? Can you hear this yet? Let's see. Can you hear that today? No.
Hear what?
Oh, I guess not. The rim shot.
Did you turn off your PC?
I did. Yes.
You know, that's good. I was wondering. I'm like, Craig's gone away. And I bet you he didn't even turn off his PC. He just left it like roasting all weekend long.
Yeah. Leaflet, what's the longest you've gone without turning off your PC?
Oh man, back in the day, there's a program called IRC, and it didn't log automatically, so you had to like leave it on if you wanted to see anything that people posted. So very long.
See, if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
If
That's
you know,
right.
you know.
Miku says, I watched one Kirsha video, and now this woman is always smiling, grimacing, and recommended thumbnails. Craig likes the cute and funny, by the way, FYI. All right. Well, yeah, who doesn't like cute and funny? I'm just throwing it out there. You know, it's great. Maverick Marty says, heck yeah, Leaflit on side scrollers. Love y'all. Rip and tear. Thank you very much, Maverick Marty. Appreciate that greatly. Snooty came in with the 10. Says, shout out to Blabs for holding it down yesterday. If you're on YouTube, take the red pill. Join us over on Rumble, and bots get swatted here by Blabinator. Rumble chat. There we go.
Thank you, Snooty.
Flying Nanook says, hey, Blabs, welcome, Leaflit. And I guess, hi, Craig. I'm enjoying the YouTube channel, Leaflit, and your normal takes on stuff for Montez. That's great. Is that, I want to get into this a little bit later on. But the VTubing community, there seems like there's this weird rift in it right now. Like I like the idea of you having normal takes, right, is seen as controversial, you know, and like that's it still feels like even today we're living in this weird bizarro world. I don't know, is it like, am I off track? Because just watching what's going on with Kirsha, and obviously, you know, the idea of I don't know, is it was run by activists as I feel like it's run by activists just by looking at it from the outside?
It almost feels like it's just the sort of, I guess, intersection would be the word of like the different communities, right? Like anime, and then VTubing is just a whole like a lot of people in the VTubing space like kind of consider themselves one big community, even though there's like really nothing in common between people. And just as anything, where you have a bunch of people online that are, you know, vying for the attention of others, they kind of like to backstab people, and I kind of feel like that's kind of it, really. The whole thing started with the Harry Potter thing for me, actually.
Yeah. We're gonna get into Harry Potter here in just a second. That's actually
I
exciting.
love Harry Potter.
Oh boy. Okay. Looks like we got little two BFFs over here. Look at them there.
Hi.
Hi, Blabs.
No, did you see the casted announcements happen this morning?
I did not actually. I actually, first thing I got to my computer.
Okay, well,
Hold on,
I won't say
stop,
anything.
stop, stop. No,
I'm not
stop,
saying
stop.
anything. I'll behave until Craig says yes.
Okay.
Oh, this is going to be great. Tamamo says Dragon Quest Heroes is essentially what Hyrule Warriors is to Legend of Zelda, a Dynasty Warrior style spinoff. I can't stand the English voice acting in Dragon Quest games, and I'm British. Thank you, Tamamo. Appreciate that. Marius says, solid jobs yesterday, Blabs. Hostess with the mostest, and welcome to the company of
Messy.
normal men. Leaflit. There you go. Thank you very much, Marius. Average job yesterday, Blabs. Great job. You did fine.
Average. Hey,
Yes.
man, at least I grabbed Cody. +1.
There you go.
+1 for that.
Yeah, we'll get into Cody here in a little bit as well. Dr. T.S. King says, Leaflet, will you ever multicast? As I deeply dislike Twitch. Love your VODs. Glad to see you live on a better platform, or live on a better platform. Chrono Trigger was the GOAT on the Super Nintendo.
It was the GOAT. Am I supposed to answer that?
Yeah.
The truth is, the reason why is because Twitch is way easier to do reacts on, because you won't get randomly blown up by YouTube. That's it. That's the reason.
There's a lot of truth in that. A lot of truth in that, yes. Mr. Dante Bloodwolf says Nintendo Power tips and tricks in so many old prints. I remember the time we used to get PlayStation Underground demos on certain magazines. I remember playing Tomba demo one of them. Thank you, Mr. Dante. Yeah, man, good times. Then we have this. Mr. White says, you said you would not do collabs. You lied to me. Uh-oh. Kidding. Glad you're getting more exposure, Leaflet. There we go. Thank you, White. Appreciate that. And Marmalin. Now listen, Leaflet. Shield your eyes if you need to, because Marmalin came in with the 50. Says, hey, Leaflet, found you during the Kirsche debacle, so more recently. Enjoy the YouTube content. Glad to catch you on here. We'll have to catch a stream. There you go. It's great. Love that. You got a new fan here from Marmalin.
Thank you. You know, that reminded me of like the girls jumping on trampolines on the,
Yes.
on the Comedy Central. Like,
Yes. Yes. The Man Show. We've more or less taken over for the Man Show. We do it every day on the internet. Yes. Our audience is rewarded with girls jumping on trampolines, just not jumping and not on trampolines, just jiggling. So Demon says Slime Girl Love. I'm sorry I butchered your name. Demonesis. Well, thank you for that.
Demonesis?
Yeah.
Demonesis?
Emperor Creatine says, here's your Rome trivia for the day. During the, well, Blabs, I'll let you go ahead and read that Rome trivia.
Our Copa revolt, Hadrian took 12 whole legions with him to pacify the regions. About 4 times as much men as Caesar took with him to Gau? I think that's how you say it. I don't know.
Emperor Creatine, thank you very much for that useless knowledge. We appreciate that. That's
The more
wonderful.
you know.
That's right. There we
Where's
go.
my assets? Hello? There they are.
Wonderful. Thank you.
classic.
Zachary says, Montez, glad to see Leaflet on. And Leaflet, we forgive you for League of Legends.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, what's going on with that? I feel like there's some lore here.
I was one of the launch team on League of Legends.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're getting forgiven for it.
Yeah. It's crazy because I don't know if you basically like when I worked there, it was like a small company, small game, and game wasn't out yet, and it was crazy. Like just like seeing like the growth. Like I was like being in there and seeing like small company to like AAA, like being a part of like that curve was really, really weird.
I bet. Like, what was when you were going through that experience and the company was going through that growth, you went from small to big, like, was there a point where you're like, something weird's going on here? You know?
Well, so in the beginning, right, like everybody knows each other, and it's kind of has that vibe where like, oh man, it was like so casual. It was crazy because back in the day, stuff was so non-serious. And when you think about it now, you're just kind of like, man, that would never happen. Like, there's no way like a company would like even allow this. But it was sort of that camaraderie that like made the environment for like for a game like that to like exist, right? And it was, man. Do you remember icing?
Icing? No.
It was when you had like a Smirnoff Ice, and then you like showed it to someone.
Okay.
Yeah, people used to do that at work.
Mhm.
And it was like it became like this arms race, and they had to ban it because people were just like falling over at work. It was like that wouldn't happen anymore, right? Like
No.
there's no way that could happen. But back in the day, and like I remember, like one of my interview questions was like, "Tell us the worst stroke you have." And it's like such an interesting interview question because it's like a culture test, right?
Right.
It's like how far are you willing to go to like say the worst stroke, but then also like hold back? It's like I thought it was such a genius question, but I remember sitting like in the room and like we had like a laptop hooked up to a monitor, and it was like, we made $100. We made $20. This is crazy, right? And it's like you think about it now, and like, dude, they're $100 like to them is like probably nothing now, right? But
Right.
like back in the day, we all celebrated for all of the small stuff, and it's just something else.
Yeah, I'll tell you this: the video game industry needs more icing. That's the
Nerf
problem.
wars, dude. Nerf wars, icing. Like all the-
Well, if it makes you feel any better, League of Legends, we always like to play the Price is Right game here for the
okay.
total revenue that League of
Oh,
Legends has made.
Oof.
Let's see. Just a quick Google search here.
Mhm.
The highest annual revenue for League of Legends in 2017. Okay, so this is just 1 year.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay. In 2017, League of Legends made Blabs. How much do you think League of Legends made in 2017, which is its highest grossing year?
Oh.
It was more than $20, Leaflit.
Maybe $1 billion.
Okay. $1 billion, Leaflit. Any guesses?
2017, $1 billion and one.
There you go. Yeah. That's how you play the Price is Right game. Let's go. Leaflit wins. Congratulations. Close to that, going over $2.1 billion right there. So there you go. Thank you to the internet for that. That was just 1 year, by the way. So
That's crazy, man.
as you were celebrating your $20, like, hey, yeah, we made $20. Let's go. Hey, we made $20. Let's go from Dr. Touchdown.
Let's go.
Says Craig's been having Blabs play a bunch of games she hasn't played. But I have like old Mario. So my thought is Blabs is like 20 to 21, or maybe just a year younger than me. Anyways, play more games, Blabs. Get those numbers up. There you go. Yeah, we play.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for $20, Dr. Touchdown.
Basically, it's like get those numbers up, scrub.
You got to play more games. That's right.
I mean, I have been, so people don't know this, but I have a gaming channel on YouTube, but I actually played for the very first time ever on emulation because I don't have a PlayStation 2, but I played Chamber of Secrets and it was a wild time. So yeah,
Okay.
the end.
Anthony says, yeah, I get to see the based Leaflit live for once on the Leaflit and Blabs show. Shut up, Anthony.
Yeah. Also, Cody's here. Hi, Cody.
What's up, Cody? Good to see you. We're going to talk about him in just a little bit. Spider Bro says, hey, Leaf, found you from a post of your epic firearms collection. Join the stream and seeing that you're based as fuck. I've been lurking ever since and watched your VODs on YouTube. Happy to see you here. Thanks, Spider Bro. Do you have a favorite firearm?
Right now it's probably my scar.
There you go. Guy Hemlock says, do you know about the hit tabletop RPG? Okay. I feel like I know this is your game, which is very exciting.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, put a link in the private chat, and we will put that in our description.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Guy. Appreciate that. All right. We see every super chat, every direct donation, every Rumble rant. We're going to read every single one of them throughout the duration of the show. We appreciate that greatly. Tenarian says, I catch some Leaflit clips nearly every day and love watching them. Can't really watch too much at a time because her distrust of other people sometimes makes you forget I live in perhaps the safest place on earth. I literally never lock my doors. Tenarian, go fuck yourself. Oh man, well, Terry, good for you, buddy. He also says, as a massive PS1 and PS2 collector, I regularly have to buy memory cards, and it's fun to see what games people have played. They sometimes give me ideas of new games to buy. Thank you, Tenarian. And Delta says, Leaflit mentioned Pathfinder. Well, that got me interested in looking at her game. Then Rest in peace, goblins in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. The dog-hating, horse-fearing baby eaters are now among the civilized folk of misunderstood refugees. Delta, I don't know what I just read, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And we can't move on without mentioning Sean Stinkin' Duncan, who came in with this right here. Blabs says, tinfoil hat moment. I think because of right of center ideology being used as a social punching bag for so long that those ideals have melted into anime and gaming communities because they're all stigmatized. VTubers are an extension of this kind of. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate that greatly. That is incredibly nice and wonderfully generous of you. And I don't think you're wrong on that. Okay, we do have a sponsor today, and I want to make sure that I tell you about our sponsor because today's sponsor is a company called Into the AM. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to pull up their website, and what I'm going to tell you this right now is you guys need to go to intotheam.com/sidescrollers. Why? Look, you guys know that I am not a big merch guy, right? When it comes to buying new merchandise, right? I hate shopping for clothes. I don't go to the store. I don't scroll fashion sites. And when I finally do buy something, I wear it until it pretty much falls apart. I know that you guys are pretty much the same way. So when I found Into the AM, I was like, okay, that's good. This is fun. This is good. Shirts that actually fit. I'm wearing one today. They feel great. They look good on me. And they're not like those stiff generic tees that you buy, at the cheapy place. They're buttery soft. They're lightweight. And the graphic designs actually have some thought behind them. It's like wearing something made by artists and not an algorithm. And the basic tee is, I actually wore their basic tee this weekend at my niece's graduation. Like, that's how nice these shirts are. They're really good. Anyways, it's an absolute go-to. I've already got a small rotation going, and trust me, like that never, that doesn't happen. If you're like me and want something comfortable that just works without thinking about it, this is it. The link is really simple, intotheam.com/sidescrollers. You're going to get 10% off your first order, and they're having a Memorial Day sale until June 1st with up to 70% off on top of the 10% discount. It's easy, affordable, and ships right to your door. Skip the mall. Wear something that lasts. Into the 8 a.m. I'm all set, baby. And you can actually see, by the way, just a little quick hit right here with Into the AM. Go use our link. Go down here to clearance. They have stuff that's, you can get this shirt for like $8. $8 right here. So crazy discount. I'm literally buying this after the show. This is what I'm buying. So anyways, appreciate you guys, your support over there. I want to go to intotheam.com/sidescrollers. So thanks to them for sponsoring the show today. Great stuff. Okay. With that said, we have a lot to talk about. So let's get to it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News.
Hard news.
Okay, the big news right before the show started was Blabs freaking out, man. And apparently Leaflit as well as we have the casting of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Blabs, you're pretty excited about this, huh?
I mean, I'm not super excited, but it's a lot better than I thought it would be. I think they're pretty decent casting announcements, except for Papa Ezadu. That's just like a giant hole in a freaking sailboat, just trying to drown the entire franchise. However, the trio is not bad at all. I do kind of question the Hermione. She's not like as pale as the other two, but like that could just be a genetic makeup, right? Because there was a lot of rumors saying that she was going to be brown. However, the one source guy kept saying no, they're going to stick to it. So I was like, okay, maybe they're not going to. And everyone was convinced she was going to be black, but she's not. Guys, surprise, surprise.
Okay. Well, hold on.
Yeah.
I know you're going a million miles an hour.
Yes.
Tap the brakes a little bit, Blabs. Okay. Leaflit, you have not seen the actors yet, have you?
I have not. Is this for the TV show reboot that they said they
Yeah.
were doing? I see.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Now you said you're a big Harry Potter fan, Leaflit?
Yes. I mean, it's yes.
Okay.
Like a while ago. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here are the people that they have cast, the kids that they have cast for the new Harry Potter franchise. You can see on the bottom, this is the original cast down here and the new cast up here. So I don't know. I don't think that's that off.
It's not a bad casting at all.
Yeah.
It's just But people were saying that like she would be black, but she's not. She's kind of like she's just a brown herb, but she could just have that could just be her genetic makeup. So I don't really see anything bad about it.
Leaflit, first impressions.
I kind of agree. I was kind of expecting it to go full woke mode, but it looks like they didn't do that.
It's wild.
Yeah,
Kid
I'm
has-
actually shocked.
Yeah. The kid has red hair. He doesn't have glasses. Are they going to use LASIK? Correct Harry Potter's glasses?
I mean, he doesn't have green eyes either, but they might just give him contacts.
Oh, okay. So you are both pleased with this initial casting here, huh?
Listen, I don't want this show to even exist, but if
No.
it's gonna exist, I want it to be done right. So that casting, I don't know anything about the acting. I looked them up. The only one I can see anything of is the girl where she was in Matilda, and she was pretty decent then, like from what I'm understanding. So I don't know, but yeah, these guys are all brand new, just like the original trio was for the most part. They weren't really actors beforehand, so yeah.
You think that in 20 years they're all going to be insane and jump off the deep end of the woke into the woke ocean?
No idea. I hope not for their own mental health. I can't imagine what it's like to be a kid doing Harry Potter now, because like the original guys, they were safe from the social media and the internet because it's the early 2000s. But these kids aren't. It's a whole other world. I don't know how they're gonna like cope.
That's true.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do we know when this show is going to be?
So it's starting filming basically now. They say this summer. However, there's rumors that heavily suggest that it's going to be early 2027, the release date. So they kind of keep posting it a little bit back a couple months. First, it was like late 2026, and now it's early 2027. So yeah.
Leaflit, is there? You said you're a Harry Potter, or at least you were a Harry Potter fan. Are there? We've seen reboot after reboot after reboot over the last 10, 15 years. We see everything getting rebooted. Naked Gun's getting rebooted of all things.
Oh my goodness.
Has there been a reboot for you that's just kind of when you saw it, you're like, oh, fuck. You kind of put your hands in your face in your hands, and you just thought, like, what is life?
Every single reboot.
Like, what are we doing? Did you have a favorite franchise whether it's Ninja Turtles or whatever, something that you watched growing up that has since been rebooted, and you just saw it and you're like, that's not what it's supposed to be.
There are some, but off the top of my head, I can't think of one. But the thing that really bothered me that was like from my childhood was Star Wars, man. Like that was brutal.
Oh, okay.
Not quite a reboot, but still brutal.
Well, I'll say this as a Star Wars expert here on the show, and somebody who's seen each of the movies exactly one time. It is amazing to see. We talk about like fractured fandoms and such. The Star Wars fandom seems like it's the most fractured out of all of the fandoms.
Yeah,
which is crazy. You didn't like the latest trilogy?
I feel like it was an insult to the legacy of the originals. Like not even just like in multiple ways, basically, like almost like literally, because of like how they handled like the old characters was really painful to me, I think. Yeah.
Did do you like we've had this discussion on the show before as far as if you had control over Star Wars, right? What would you do with it? Would you there's been talks of like the idea of just shelving it for like a decade and a half and just letting it breathe and then bringing it back, or just never bringing it back at all and letting its legacy kind of do its own thing?
I'm kind of fine with that. I think one good thing that they could do is like because it's a whole world, right? Like it doesn't have to be like centered around like what happened before. So I think just them exploring like creating new characters and new stories that are not related to the movie plot and doesn't have anything to do with like rearranging the movie plot, or like I think things like that would be really good. And I think they did see some success. Well, even though it was sort of tangentially related, but I haven't seen any of the new shows, but a lot of people talk about the new shows like they're really good. What was that one that everyone talks about? That says it's really good.
Yeah, the latest one apparently was like kind of a beacon of light, and otherwise.
Oh, you mean Andor?
Yes, that one. I haven't actually seen it.
No, neither have I.
The last Star Wars anything I watched was I think the first or second episode of Mandalorian season 2. Like I really liked the first season of Mandalorian. Thought it was really good, and then like season 2 came around. I was like, oh, okay, and then I just kind of didn't stick with it. But apparently season 3 was trash.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
But, well, bummer for all the reboots, and Blabs. I'll have my fingers crossed for you with Harry Potter. Because
for my sanity, please and thank you.
Wait, real quick. It's supposed to be a TV show?
It's supposed to be a TV show. So what they're doing is they're doing like one season per book. So technically speaking, it's 7 seasons, taking span over like 10 years. So this show won't be done until the late 2030s, which is wild to think. It's a whole decade from now. Jeez. But there's also a lot of people who are like, will this show even make it then? And I'm like, that's a great question. Super great question, because I can't even answer that either.
Has there have they devoted a budget for this? Did they say it's going to cost $2 billion?
I think there's a budget public, but I'm sure that they've had it all set up. This is one of their biggest babies, right? So,
right.
But the thing is, like, with the Fantastic Beasts mismanaged, right? That was supposed to be the new, like, up and coming. They really mismanaged it. It was just a lot of bad PR. The characters were kind of they had a lot of issues. So they basically scrapped it. So like they really need this to do well, but at the same time, they're not making the best casting decisions and not making the best like production decisions. When you have people on the writing team who are like, I've never read the books. It's like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Ouch.
So yeah.
Well, I think it's amazing to commit to like 7 seasons of something before the first episode is ever live.
I don't know if they've done that. I don't know what their contracts look like. They could be doing it like maybe the first 2 or 3 seasons, kind of like Rings of Power, right? Where they shortened it down. I mean, even Andor supposedly was supposed to be 5 seasons, and it was only 2 seasons.
Right.
So I don't know what their contracts look like.
You know, this is actually from, here we go. This is actually from Brett over at Pop Culture Crisis. Oddly enough, just scrolling through X right now, he says HBO is going to spend $75 million an episode. What? It's almost like our budget here on Side Scrollers, which
for
is
sure divided by a whole bunch.
Oh man, yes.
Wow, man. Where are they pulling all that money from? Because Warner Brothers is not doing all that well.
I don't know.
Where is this money coming from? Their DC shit has not done that well. Their games have all flopped in the last year. Where's the money? Good luck.
$600 million per season. $4.2 billion to put it on HBO Max. Holy shnikes.
That's wild.
That is, man. Leaflit, if you were given $75 million to do whatever you want with, $75 million. Would you produce 1 episode of Harry Potter TV series?
Now she'd disappear on an island.
The only thing I can think of is maybe they're doing it to keep the IP relevant so they could sell more merch.
I mean,
it's the only way they recoup it, right?
They have Universal Studios for that, and they just opened up a brand new ass park just for it.
I want to go there.
I want to go there. Maybe we are going to do something at Universal eventually. Maybe you can come join us one day. It'll be great. I don't, as far as it staying like relevant, I think Harry Potter will be relevant forever. Now it's one of those, at least for the next 100 years or so. But investing like $4.2 billion in content, like period, seems like a major investment, let alone over the course of like 7 years. Or a decade. That just seems like that is insane. Just fake numbers.
It really seems to me that they're trying to, like, their audience from like the original movies have already grown up, and they're like, they need like another one, like to capture the kids as well, like of those original Harry Potter fans. Like they're trying to extend the IP capture, I suppose. That's what it seems like to me, at least.
I kind of disagree with that, because yeah, sure, you want the new kids and you want the new generation, but if you piss off the older ones, they're the ones paying for those kids, right? So it's
Good
like,
point.
if I don't want to do it, if I don't want to shell out my money because you shat all over my franchise.
Mhm.
And I see a lot of people always compare it with Star Wars, but I find like you really cannot compare with Star Wars because what happened with Star Wars was they threw out already existing material, right? And they like threw out all the characters. With this is like a new adaptation. So I don't really see how you can compare them, right? It's not like Warner Brothers sold Harry Potter to anyone. It's still Warner Brothers, whereas Star Wars became Disney, threw all the characters out, expanded the lore, if you want to say, throughout the expanded universe. So it's like, I don't know. I can't really compare the two. Yeah.
Well, it's coming.
Good job, Craig.
$4.2 billion, man. It's coming, whether you like it or not. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Yeah.
I mean, listen, I hope for the best. I do. I don't like seeing franchises just ruin themselves, right? But I'm very skeptical so far. I'd like to be proven wrong.
Well, we'll see. We'll see when it comes out here in 2027 after
See
spending.
you all then.
Yes, we'll see. Hey, C. Thomas came in and says, first we get Foxu, now we get Slime Boss. Side Scrollers finding all the goated VTubers to show them the power of Montez. Yes, let's go. By the way, we did get our first Montez goal today. Leaflit, I feel like we should probably preface this and kind of tell you what Montez is. Do you recall about 2-3 months ago, there was maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. There was a viral video going around where a lady got out of her car in a road rage incident, and she started beating up this guy, or she started attacking this guy, and the guy he suplexed her over her head onto the concrete.
Oh my God.
Did you ever see this?
I vaguely remember. I have a vague memory. I've seen a lot of videos.
Yeah, well, we just thought it was funny. So now we have Montez, and she was actually yelling for her boyfriend Montez, but he never showed up till later. She's going Montez, but we've hence co-opted it and made the guy doing the belly to back suplex Montez. So with that said, we just pick a number between 1 and 15, and we'll show you what happens when you do that.
9.
9 it is. Let's see. 9. Here we go. Let's go with this one.
Bitch!
There you go.
Oh my God.
There's always
the music.
Yeah, the video game fun, man. It's great stuff. All right, first Montez goal of the day. Thank you guys very much. That's spectacular. Let's keep it going. I set a new Montez goal up, and if we can continue to knock those out, that'd be spectacular throughout the day. Also, Joseph came in and says, enjoying some side scrollers on my birthday, which I think is also Cole Hauser's and Sabertooth Raptors too. Shout out to May birthdays. Yes, including Blabs, I guess. Montez for Leaflit. Let's go.
Yeah, happy birthday to you. It's funny because on Sunday was Melee K's birthday. Wednesday is my birthday. And if I'm not mistaken, John's birthday, John Graham, RB and the Chief, his birthday is either May 30th or May 31st. So like we got a whole week of birthdays.
You got a lot of birthdays. Hey, and I believe Dan Bask is in the background to wish you a happy birthday.
Happy, much happy birthday for you.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. Tamamo says, kind of off topic, but we just talked with a colleague who saw.
Is he gone? Is it just
I
me?
can't hear him.
Oh, he's gone. Goodbye, Craig.
I don't know. StreamYard. Kind of off topic, but just talked with a colleague who saw the new live action Stitch. According to her, it's really cute, and despite the differences from the original, the ending is very wholesome.
Oh yeah, Craig, you were away this weekend, but did you hear anything about the ending of Lilo and Stitch?
I saw some rumblings about it online. I like something about all humans are humans or something, or like what?
Oh, I didn't hear that, but
Okay.
It's basically like Nani gives up Lilo at the end to go to college. And so you know how like the whole theme of the first one is like, oh, you know, Ohana means family?
Uh-huh.
That kind of doesn't really stick supposedly according to the live action. Now here's the thing, I can't like verify that because I've not seen the live action. I've been saying since day one this was no, I don't want it. So yeah, but apparently she does not stay with Lilo.
Just like
she wants to go to medical school or biology or whatever it is in college, and she goes to college.
Ohana means family until it's time to go to college.
Exactly, except live action.
Why do they do this?
I don't know, Leaflit. I don't know. I don't know why they do it, but they do it over and over and over again. You know what? Actually, I know exactly why they do it. Because over the weekend, Lilo and Stitch made $341 million globally. That's why they do
It
it.
did really well.
But did it do well because people wanted to watch Lilo and Stitch again? Or did it do well
Yes.
because of the changes that they made to it, right?
No,
I mean, no one would know about the changes until they go and see it. So
Right.
I doubt they expected it. Although I was fun to rub it in Mally Mouse's face. She's like, damn it, all these changes. It's like, who said it? I was right.
You did. And you know who said it was going to make $1 billion?
You.
Mm-hmm.
I never denied it. I was just very unfortunate and I'm happy with that.
Stand by that. It is going to murder.
Yep, it's going to be.
box office.
And you know what's really funny? So we decided to call it the Rachel metric because the weekend opening of Lilo and Stitch did better than the entire run of Snow White. So now there's a new metric out there, the Rachel Zegler metric.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's done extraordinarily well. Over 300. That's just so stupid to think about. Maybe that's why companies are willing to invest $75 million an episode into Harry Potter.
Yes, nuts.
Peps is willing to invest $49.99 into side scrollers, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much. It says, morning scrollers. Hi, Leaflit. I'm so happy you're here. Yay. Your videos are interesting to watch, and your model is very pretty. May the creator bless. There we go,
Thank
Peps.
you.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much. That's incredibly generous. Dirtus King says, Gaul is pronounced like Paul with a G. Yeah.
Oh,
Dr.
sorry.
T is King
I'm
says.
illiterate.
It was what France was called before the Germanic tribe of the Franks invaded after the fall of the Western Roman Empire. Roman history is great pub game ands. Okay, Dr. T. And Mary says, Montez. Speedy Cake says, hey, Craig. Well, moving on, moving into the new rental, I found an old copy of OG Call of Duty from 2003 for PC with CD key included, and my mother gave me the Thunderbirds Matchbox Cars collection she bought 32 years ago when I was born. There you go, Speedy Cake, man. That sounds like a pretty fun weekend, if I'm being honest. Matchbox Cars and 2003 Call of Duty, sign me up. I'm down. Al says, if someone went back to your 2008 selves to tell you that there would be a Oblivion movie and a Fallout movie starring Tom Cruise, how hype would you be? And how mad would you be realizing both have nothing to do with the games? I didn't know there was a Fallout movie starring Tom Cruise coming out. This is news to me.
Let me look.
Yeah, please do. Leaflet, are you a Mission Impossible
Wait,
fan?
is he talking about Mission Impossible Fallout? Like, because that's the movie, Mission Impossible Fallout.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not. It's good. I'm not really I'm not really a movie person, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a weeb, just watch anime.
Get that.
Ooh, we could talk about anime another time. I got stuff.
I got stuff. Josh came and says, is that Leaflet on Side Scrollers? This is my favorite YouTube channel now. Let's go, Josh. Thank you very much. She subscribed to Leaflet's channel as well. Marmalin says, but wait, they changed Star Wars to be more for girls. How did you not enjoy it? Come on, girl power and everything unique about Luke. Gone. Who cares? Space witch lesbians. All right.
That was a bad scene.
And well, I mean, it went so well. They didn't even renew the second season of it, of the Space Witch Lesbians. So at least that.
Well, we've made it through one story in 53 minutes, so we should probably keep going. We will hit every single one of your super chats before the end of the show. Thank you guys very much for your support. Yes, we get distracted sometimes. As you would probably get distracted by this. Leaflet, I grew up gaming in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And that era of advertising was wild. If you go back and you look at it, my boy Cabrutus posted this over on X, and this is a Japanese commercial for of all things, Devil May Cry. And I think this really, are you a Devil May Cry fan, or have you ever played it before?
I've never played one.
Okay, well, Dante is very cool. That's what you need to know. Dante's like
I know that.
Yeah, like an anime character brought into video games. That's kind of the whole idea behind Dante. We got the cool hair over his eyes, and he's got the trench coat, and he's awesome. Anyways, this was an advertisement for Devil May Cry in Japan, and the simple question is, why can't we just go back to advertising like this? Oh, I'd like to point out, it took 5 seconds to get to gameplay after 3 scantily clad outfits. Sorry, I'm just going to replay this one more time.
That's amazing.
If you really break down this commercial, it tells you like literally everything that men like. Okay. You've got girls looking seductive at them, right? You've got girls in underwear. Then you got a dude with a sword, right? Looking awesome. You got a guy shooting a gun. Pretty cool. You got a big old flaming kick to a guy's junk right here. It works in so many ways. Who literally flies off screen, I might add. Boof. Cool looking stares at the camera, and then video games, man. You know, and then, I mean, not everybody's into this, but did you notice the last shot of this is actually a guy with a camera like shooting up?
It's actually a witty commercial though, because it's talking about like how they're doing like the poses, and then he has the poses too. That's why it was going through like those shots where he had like his leg in the air.
Do you understand Japanese?
Only a little bit.
What was it? What was it saying? What was it saying? I have no idea.
It was talking about the poses. That's basically the extent of my knowledge of it. But they were talking about like how, like they're like in how like, the poses with like the girls, and then it showed him doing poses.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, see, I had no idea what was going on. I mean, I understand the pose. By the way, his leg. No male can put their leg up that high. And just like to point that out there. Blabs, you ever done this before? Kicked up and then had a flaming kick to a guy's junk?
You know, I can't say that I have, but it could be on the bucket list one day.
Saying I'd pay money to see that.
Right? Hi-ya!
Yo. I think this is a very simple premise here of just knowing your audience and advertising to it. I just don't think we'd ever see a commercial like this today, at least in today's video games. It would be seen as problematic.
Yeah, I think a lot of game companies don't really know their audience anymore. I think it's actually one of the biggest problems right now in the industry is marketing and trying to like capture like an audience that doesn't even resonate with their game, and it's just tragic.
I feel like we see that a lot, not just in games, but across all of entertainment, where they're catering to this, this modern audience that, we talked about it many times, this modern audience that doesn't exist. And the argument a lot of people make is that they're trying to create the modern audience, right? They're turning they want to take this youth and turn it into the modern audience, to where in 15, 20 years, everything that we cringe at, they look at and they're like, oh, that's pretty normal, but I don't know if that really works.
I don't think it does either.
Yeah.
They don't really care. They don't want to see all this bullshit. Yeah?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think that the video game industry, no matter what the ESRB wants to say about it being a 50-50 male to female hobby, like we all know that's a bunch of crap, right? But at the end of the day, dudes like boobs, dudes like guns, dudes like swift kicks to the nuts, and like if you just present them with a product that has those three things and maybe a flying eagle for America, your game's probably going to be pretty successful. So it's amazing to see how things have shifted. They
had that study too that female players also want to play characters that are attractive, which is obviously.
It's human nature.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you go back all the way to the early 90s, and you have characters that go like Street Fighter 2. You had Ryu, big burly dude. He's got a gi on, but he's got a big old chest, right? You got Zangief, who's manly, got bear scars on him. Then you got Chun-Li with these big old thick thighs, and she's got big old boobs. And, like Cammy, who's, she's got a big old thong. And like the whole idea was look at her butt. Like, sex sells. That's like the number one rule of advertising. And it seems like the video game industry in particular has just totally, I say totally forgotten that, because that's not necessarily the case, because you see games like Stellar Blade that have just been crazy because they leaned into it. They leaned into this idea that sex sells, and they have these characters that are sexy, but then you have games like Dragon Age Veilguard, and you're like, what is that I'm playing as right now? Or who is that character? Is that a she, a he, or are they, them? And you truly have no idea. So
you know what I think it is, actually? I think basically your average gamer wants to play a hero. They want to play someone that's not them, somebody that is kind of a super idealistic version of like what they want to be. Whereas a lot of like these developers that kind of create these games, they just want to play themselves. And I think it's like a sort of like weird, like narcissistic thing that they have going on, where that's what they want, is I want to play as me in the game. But like, we play, like, I play those games because I want to play something fantastical, and that's why you have like the super sexy, like girls, you have the super ripped guys, because guys want to play like that fantasy version of like what they wish they could be, right? And that's kind of what games are. It's a fantasy, right?
Golly, you are preaching right now. The self-insert, and you said it here, man, the narcissism of some of these developers who it's all about me. It's all about me, and I want to play as me, and you should play as me. Like, oh my gosh.
In some cases, it's literal, because there have been cases where like the characters literally do look like the developers, right? That's wild.
Man, preach, Leaflit. That is insane. Well, I'll tell you this. Maybe this person is who these game developers are making games for. As I found this video, and I just had to share it with you guys, because I think this is a member of the modern audience, and this member of the modern audience recently got a job at Lowe's. I think this video is a couple years old, but it makes me laugh every time I see it. Have you seen this guy on top of the forklift?
Maybe?
I have not.
I feel like we have seen this before.
I saw this morning. I just had to talk about it.
There you go. You can't be scared. Just roll with it.
This is clearly, I'm guessing this is his first time on the forklift up here.
Then it's not a skit, or he's not like...
Oh, no.
Got some mental issues, like legit mental issues.
Lisa says we've shown this video before. Well, we're going to bring it back.
Yeah, I
Here
swear
we
I've
go.
seen this one before.
Maybe Leaflit hasn't seen it.
That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. So you doing good. Pick it up again. Come down. Come down. Just keep coming down. Oh, get low. Oh, wait, I'm in the way. All right, come down.
Please, I'm begging you. Somebody come.
Come down. You gotta come down.
I can't. The machine's not moving.
We in the Man, I don't know how to work the machine. You need to go down.
I'm sorry. It's so funny to me.
I don't know how to work the machine.
Why aren't they helping?
Yeah, like why don't they just climb?
I don't know, but it's, I love that he has enough time to adjust his glasses in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That actually is pretty funny.
Just his cries for help are outstanding.
I can't. The machine's not moving.
We in the Man, I don't know how to work the machine. You need to go down. You need to go down.
Please, somebody. Please, somebody. Please.
Keep in mind, he has a lawn chair. That's what
Is it 2 lawn chairs or is it 1 lawn chair? Because maybe 2, yeah, I kind of can understand. But if it's 1, I don't think it should be that bad.
Oh my god, I don't know. It's just so funny. This is what happens when they them get tired at Home
I
Depot
actually
or
have a
Lowe's.
better one to show you that I found this morning.
Okay.
I got it ready to go. I've seen this. I've screened it.
Boy.
Have you seen him?
Him?
They,
Her?
them?
They, them? Yeah. I did see this leaflet. Did you see this person?
Let me see it when it loads. Oh, I have not.
People wonder why we need a union at Starbucks, and I am literally about to quit. Like I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but like
You have? Yeah.
I think I have. I'm pretty.
Basically, it's pretty long. It's 2 minutes, but like the TLDR is that this guy is like complaining that his boss ditched him and took his name off the schedule, so he couldn't be called in for work and have accountability. Meanwhile, he's crying on the phone, complaining that they're short staffed. So he's at work, and there's 3 other employees with him. So whilst he's on the floor crying back in like the kitchen or whatever, the 3 other employees are running around like headless chickens because now they're 1 man down whilst he's crying about it.
You had to work.
It's amazing. And then apparently something about being misgendered because he's got facial hair. We'll watch that bit.
orders, and I need to get through all of them, and then people are yelling at me because I don't have their orders ready, and they don't know what to do. And a customer was misgendering me today, like really badly. I didn't have their order ready, and so they were just like talking to each other, and they're like, "She's clearly incompetent." I have a full mustache and beard. What the fuck?
Outstanding.
What the
man.
fuck? So yeah,
Oh, man.
that's what we have to deal with nowadays. 8-hour shift and this guy's
that's
crying. And apparently he wasn't even in 8 hours. It was only like 3 hours in.
How did people get so weak?
You know, I think it's a matter of just being told that they're perfect at every turn. You know, the idea that you're so good, good, way to go, congratulations. I do feel like there's definitely an element of like the trophy generation that's seeped into things where it's constant affirmation.
Everyone's a winner.
Everybody.
I also think maybe he also had really bad training too, because you should be able to cope, right? If you had the right training, you're only 3 hours in, you should be able to like do X, Y, and Z. So maybe there's more than just like this kid being a narcissistic little shit. You know, like maybe he's got a bad manager, bad training, bad coworkers, and it all just kind of piles up and it's just a mess. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we all understand that we're cooked. we're just cooked straight up. That's it. All right, let's. I want to get a couple of these supers. Then I want to talk. I want to follow up on a story we talked about yesterday, or at least you talked about yesterday, and that is our buddy Camelot getting canceled from this event. So let's get to some of the supers over 10.
Okay, alrighty. Wow, you guys have been really generous today. So Anthony
guys.
says, yeah, I do not want to play a self-insert. The only mailman I want to play as is the guy in the Postal Game series. Thank you. Let me scroll. You ate my rice. The Stellar Blade on PC will make bank. I don't disagree with that. David says, want to see a cool commercial? Look for the Metroid Zero Mission Japanese commercial. Thank you. Evil Mandrick says, seeing how VTubing lets you be anything from Crazy Fox to a Slime Fairy, a heavy metal elf to Pyromania Cow, what would Craig and Blabs choose for their models to be? Ooh, that's a great question. I never thought about that.
So I actually have thought about that, and I actually thought,
you have.
yeah, of course I have. I thought it'd be really funny to just be me.
Just be a VTuber Craig.
Yeah, just VTuber Craig.
Like an anime version of you?
Yeah, so I never age, ever.
What would I be? I feel like if I was like, I was going to say a niffler, but then I'd be a furry, and I don't want to be a furry. I don't know. Come back to me. I really have to put like a lot of thought into this. But thank you for the great question. Thomas says, Dante is cool, Devil May Cry is cool, and Adi Shankar is radioactive, annoying cringe, and that man should be shamed for trying to skin suit everything he isn't. Thank you for that. Mr. Muffler for $19.99 says, that's the power of the tangent slime forum. Thank you very much. Tamamo says, kind of spoilers, but they are making the ending sound worse than it is. It is absolutely not girl boss, nor true separation. Let's just say alien technology plays a part.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. And then Durs King says, Nani Ohana means family, which is why you'll stay here, and I'll be right back with a pack of smokes and a gallon of milk. Nanny was never seen on the island again.
Hey, real quick. Apparently, I'm not allowed to self-insert when I VTube, so I need to really think through things. And the suggestion was maybe just be a bowl of soup.
No, just be a can of soup. Just a can.
Just like be
move
yourself,
around.
but like as a Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the crazy yellow flaming hair and all this. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. All right, Blabs, keep on rolling. We got a couple more than we'll.
Yay for 10 says, happy birthday, Blabs. It's tomorrow, but thank you. Thanks for always being a good sport. Also, everyone subscribe to our channel. Also, Leaflit, you are a good guest. Thank you very much. And yes, subscribe to Leaflit.
Yes.
Mr. Mametic says Leaflit needs to be questioned for her trauma, the trauma her AI posts on X featuring famous anime in real life depictions caused. What?
I mean,
what are you doing to the people on Twitter?
I made like a pharmaceutical ad this morning.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Do you want to see that real quick? It was great.
Yeah, I haven't seen this.
Yeah, this is wonderful stuff. Obviously, the AI stuff is fascinating. By the way, I'm assuming you made this with the new AI tools?
Yes. There's a couple of tools kind of put together. I used 4 different ones in Premiere.
This is great.
I did it real fast though.
How long did this take you?
This took me about maybe 45 minutes.
What? Okay. Yeah, we are cooked. Here we go.
Why do I get triggered so easily? I used to be happy, but now I can't stop complaining about everything.
You might be suffering from Karenism. Try Mound to relieve 95% of symptoms in only 1 day.
Side effects include balding, roach infestation, Hasan, right-wing extremism, and balding.
It's not your fault. Reclaim your life. Ask your doctor about twice daily Asmongold 100 milligram tablets.
Thank you, Asmongul, for giving me back my happiness.
That's terrifying. Wild.
I feel like we need to rip. Leaflet, are you okay if we rip off that entire idea and do once daily side scrollers?
Sure.
Oh my god.
If you need help with it, I can help you. I've been really kind of doing AI stuff like forever, even before everyone hated on it. I was doing content with it.
You were on the train before everyone else was. Then you're an OG.
I believe AI. It's a tool, and if you don't use the tool, you're going to get left behind. I'm a big believer in that. So I know a lot of people have very, very vicious reactions, but I get it, But for me, it's like, hey, we're going to use AI, and we're going to use it because if you don't, you're getting left behind real quick. So
it's great for memes.
It's great for memes. At the end of the day, it's great for memes. That's right. That's wonderful. I love it. Once daily side scrollers will give you all those things without the side effect of Hasan, which is good. All right. I wanted to kind of follow up on this real quick. Yesterday, Blabs, you had Cody on, Camelot 331 on. He posted the other day that he had been booted from an event called Game and Geek Expo. Leaflet, did you see the story getting passed around the last couple of days?
I did not. What happened?
So Cody is a buddy. He's been on the show many, many times. He's actually a professional race car driver. He drives for NASCAR, but he was a YouTuber. Well, still is a YouTuber. And anyways, he got this this note here from them saying, "Thank you again for your interest in being a part of the Game and Geek Expo. We appreciate your time and effort you've put into your content and the support you've shown towards our event. After careful consideration, we've made the decision to move forward without your involvement in this year's show. While we truly appreciate your recent efforts, including the removal of one of the flagged videos, additional content has surfaced that has raised continued concerns from our community, guests, and sponsors. Unfortunately, we've already experienced the loss of a sponsor and several other guest participants due to this situation. And it is beginning to negatively affect the overall perception and inclusivity of our event. Please understand, this is not a reflection of you as a creator, but rather a necessary step to ensure that we are maintaining a space that is welcoming, respectful, and positive for all attendees and partners. We absolutely respect your right to creative expression and free speech, but we also have a responsibility to our broader community. So you may be asking yourself, what did he say? What did he say to get booted?
What did he say? I like the last part though. We respect your free speech, but like get the fuck out. Like,
Right. Exactly.
made me laugh.
There's a lot there. Yes. Really what he said was he had a stream where he was talking about how there's a lot of, the long and short of it is he mentioned that there's a lot of people in like the cosplay furry space that have like mental issues, right?
Mhm.
And that was it. He's like, there's people who have some mental issues and, you know, whatever. And that apparently upset some people. And I guess one person in particular shot a lot of emails to the staff and it felt like they were getting dogpiled. So then they booted him. Well, this is blown up in their face dramatically as this original post has almost 1 million views on over on X. And people have been pulling out of this event because of Cody getting booted. People that like don't even agree with Cody are like, yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, but Retro Wolf over here, I'm not familiar with Retro Wolf, but he backed out of principle here. This person backed out. Saturn Stevo over here. Pac-Man Case backing out. So all these people are backing out of this event. And to add to this, he dropped a 28 or almost 29-minute conversation that he had with the director of this Game and Geek Expo yesterday over on X. And in this video or in this conversation he had with this person, the person tries to be like, he's like, look, I got people who are upset at me and I got to do what's best for the expo. What can we do to make this right for you? And Cody's like, I already spent like $700 on like merchandise for this event. And the guy's like, well, we'll pay you back. And at one point he kind of throws out the card of like, look, dude, I could lose my home if this doesn't go well. I guess this is like a first time event. And he kind of paints himself out to be the victim in this. Whereas like he's the guy who's been throwing all this stuff out. And he labeled Cody as problematic, right? And I feel like this is something that is very 5 years ago, right? Like 2025. First and foremost, I know this is something that has happened in the VTube space. I know like Kirsha got booted from Offcut. Have you seen any of this stuff in the VTubing space?
Oh yeah, it did happen to Kirsha. That was like the big one that happened. Yeah.
I feel like there's a need for a convention. Like for some reason.
You muted yourself. Hi.
I did not. StreamYard muted. But for some reason, this event really like set a fire under me. Maybe it's at like 2025 or whatever, but I feel like there should be an event that brings together all the canceled people who have been booted from these events and just like an uncanceled event. So we're going to kick around the idea of doing something like this. Once we get through, what's your face, Blabs?
I don't know, streamers just turned on the chats on the stage. Anyway, it's fine. By the way, just check your volume a little bit. It's a little bit low now.
Now my volume's low? Okay.
It was for a second there.
I did nothing. But I feel like there's something there when it comes to this. Like there should be some event that has a bunch of people who have been canceled from different events and things like that. So I put out a tweet about this. Just like if you know any online creators who have been canceled from like a con appearance or sponsorship for WrongThink, like tag them down here. I'm very intrigued by like the idea of kicking around the idea of actually doing something like this, because I feel like like at a certain point you just got to stop talking about things and you just got to do something, you know?
It's a natural progression of this, right? Where they take a space and they kick everyone out that they don't agree with. And then what does that lead to except those people creating their own version of it, right? And now you're gonna have what you're gonna have gaming expo for left-wing people and gaming expo for right-wing people. It's ridiculous, you know. Like, but I mean, like, what else choice do you have when they do things like that, right?
Well, you're 100% right. They're creating this unnecessary divide that was never there. You know, going back to everybody's favorite video game waitress, we're talking about Alyssa Mercante. She was like, the video game industry was naturally diverse, and she's right. She's actually very right. The video game industry has always been diverse. So, you know, the idea that they want to put their stake in the sand and say like, hey, you can't come here if you think this way, or if somebody sees you as problematic. And Cody mentioned this, like, if you were to go on any of the people, any of the influencers, or any of the attendees of this event, and you were to scroll down their timeline, a page, you would find something that somebody would deem as problematic or would feel unsafe by them. But only Cody got booted, you know? I did think there was extreme irony on their website for this event, saying, you belong here. Yes, you belong here, except you. Oh, man. Well, you know, hey, if we pull that off, Leaflit, would you be interested in attending in your VTuber form?
Sure.
All right.
I'd love to. Yeah.
No, all right. Well, we'll kick around the idea, because I think that there's an opportunity there. So, anyways, we'll keep an eye on that, and I'm sure Cody has some more news coming in the next few days about all that nonsense. So, all right. I'll tell you what. I wanted to. We've kind of danced around this topic a little bit today, but talking about the divide in the VTuber space. Like I said, this is something that I'm not, you know, I'm learning about this space as we go, but it definitely seems like there's, you know, your based VTubers, and then there's like your crazy wackos, and we see this in the gaming space, we see this in the creator space. It just kind of seems like it's all over the place. I'm not like, I've seen this person pop up because of the whole Kirsha stuff a couple weeks ago, but this person here, I don't even know how to say this person's name. Yara, I guess. This is honestly, I don't want to be a VTuber anymore, but I feel like I have to for safety reasons. I love this space, but it's clear to me that it's not as inclusive and supportive as it seems. I've made awesome friends, but this community is rotten and people can't fix it. It's sad. Now, this was posted by Sean over here. It says, because people say children can't consent to life-altering medications. Are you mental? Over here. And this was actually tweeted. I'm not familiar if you know who this person is. Sarah over here says, Boo effing who tried to get a sponsor to drop a bigger streamer by joining a harassment campaign against them, and has a history of saying
muted.
What is going on today? Anyways,
I don't know, man. Are you like clicking something on?
No, I'm not clicking anything. But go ahead and read this Blabs real fast.
Boo fucking who tried to get a sponsor to drop a bigger streamer by joining a harassment campaign against them, and has a history of saying creepy shit about grooming minors. Tried to get attention by bitching at Asmongold, and people noticed every stupid shit he said. Now they are hating on him. The community isn't rotten. He is the rotten one. Also, get the fuck out of with I don't feel safe. People telling you they want you to off yourself is standard on the internet. Report anyone making a credible death threat to local authorities and move on.
So it's obvious that there's a divide in the VTubing space. By the way, Azara, looks like they're in the chat. So hello, thank you very much for hanging out. Can you speak to kind of the divide of just the VTubing audience? And is there, you know, we talk about how our audience, there's like this 10% here, there's 10% here, we cater to this 80% here. Is it like that in the VTubing space as well? Or like, what have you noticed? And has there been a shift over the last few years of this?
So, I mean, I do agree that I think that the VTubing community is a little bit more kind of left like woke leaning than I guess your typical demographic. But the thing is a lot of the time these people they kind of want to. I'm trying to think how to say it. They want to make it so you can't talk about certain things because they actually can't discuss it. Like if you actually discuss it at all, like all of the things that they believe, their arguments basically they're not used to having to fight for what they believe in. They're used to just basically being given the fact, well, not the fact, but they're used to be being given the benefit of the doubt that their argument is true. And because of that, they're not really mentally prepared to actually argue with it. So their best option really is to just shut it down immediately. And that's why you have a lot of like these people kind of just going after people and kind of ganging up on them like as fast as possible so that they can't be a part of that community. That way those discussions aren't allowed to happen. Sorry, I'm really bad at explaining myself.
No, that makes total sense. The idea that, you know, they came in and then they want to gatekeep as soon as they get in and snuff
They
out,
have to.
you know, what they deem as bad actors.
Yeah.
And we see this in real life where oftentimes, and maybe this is what's happening in the VTubing space, where as soon as they're challenged, like they can't respond and they just throw out istphobe, whatever, because their arguments hold no weight, right? And then they call you non-tolerant, you're not tolerant, or, you know, whatever they want to say about you, or call you a Nazi or whatever like that. Is this something that you've run into?
Yeah, it happens. It happens all the time. And the thing is like one thing I try to do, like on my streams, I try to actually engage with people that are talking in bad faith. Not, and the thing is like a lot of people are like, why are you even talking to that person? Like, why? Like they're clearly a bad faith actor. I'm not engaging with a bad faith actor for that person. It's for all of the people in the middle, like you said, the middle 80%. That's who you're trying to convince. It's not the 10% on either side, right?
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to that. And we've had that discussion about like, you know, people say, why do you have this person on the show? Or why would you have this person on the show? And my response is like, you want to have them on because number one, the audience will decide, right? Number two, you want them to throw out their thought process and ultimately they're going to dig their own grave, you know, and you have to allow them the opportunity to do that. Sometimes the best way to have a discussion is just to let people talk, and you let them see that their arguments have no weight. There's no validity to them at all. And that's when they resort to either walking away or calling you some sort of bad language or whatever it is. You know, piggybacking on what like Cody was saying, just about, you know, like I said, looking at it from the outside in the VTubing space, and I could be totally off here. So if I am, please let me know. But in the VTubing space, you have an avatar, right?
Yes.
And that avatar is, you know, it was come up with by some sort of, you know, your imagination, right? Have you seen in the VTubing space? You said it's generally left leaning, right? Have you seen that in the VTubing space, VTubers be, I don't know, more antisocial, I would say, maybe more, maybe have a higher rate of, I don't know, autism or something like that, that you'd find like in the general YouTubing space?
Well, I have thoughts on this. So
yeah,
I think in the VTubing space specifically, what makes it quite interesting is I feel like, so anime and games in general, at least before, I don't know how much it is now. They're nerd hobbies, right? They're for
Sure.
people that are like kind of not really, I guess you would say, like the cool people in like in like school, right? So you have a case really where, especially with VTubing, where you have these people who are kind of the outcasts, you know, the nerds, and now they're given another opportunity, like a chance to be the cool kids, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And you know, things stay the same, right? So like now they're the bullies, right? And it's kind of like what you see happening with VTubing, I feel like, because it's just, and a lot of people refer to VTubing as high school 2.0, right? And it really does feel like that a lot of the time.
It's funny you mentioned that because I mean, anybody who's ever been to like a gaming convention or an anime con, you know the audience, right? We've all been there. Like, I don't think anybody has ever been considered, like most people in the gaming space has never been considered the cool kid, like ever, right? So I think it speaks to a little, especially if you develop any sort of audience, it speaks to you as a person, how you react to having some sort of, for lack of a better term, influence, you know? And when you become the cool kid, you see where kids want to get the revenge that they never had, based off of the whatever. So that's interesting to hear you say that, because I think there's definitely some correlations between the two. I see some people talking about how how the meme is the meme, and I mentioned like kind of the autism side of things. Meme and the autism and VTubering is like kind of go hand in hand, I guess. That's kind of the meme when it comes to this stuff. So it's funny because this is like a very similar topic to what Cody was talking about that kind of got him canceled from the event, but it's one of those things where it's like it's an unspoken truth,
Yes.
and nobody wants to mention it. And as soon as you mention it, people are like, how dare you say that? And it's like, because I see it right there in front of me and it's obvious, and it's not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just speaking to it, so.
I mean, the nerds are the outcasts for reasons, right? Like whatever that reason is. And I mean, imagine that it does have, like what you said, but like autism or other, I don't know what the word for it is just other mental differences, I suppose. Of course, you're going to have more of that in like a place that has like a lot of societal outcasts, right?
Sure. Well, and like I said, there's nothing like some of the most high functioning people on earth have autism, like there's nothing wrong with that, at all. But people immediately get on the defensive and they, oh, you can't talk like that. It's like, what do you, dude? It's not like we're not criticizing anything, just talking about generalities that we see. But it's interesting to see, like, as we speak to more and more people on the show from communities that we're not, that were, I use the word ignorant because I think ignorant just means you lack knowledge in this, like knowledge, like we're ignorant towards, and as we learn more and more about the VTubing community, it seems like while as different as it may be, it's all the same, right? You see it in gaming, see it in Star Wars, you see it in VTubing, see it in pick a community. And you see these people who were once, as you said, once the nerds, once outcast, they get a little bit of power, and then it's like, yeah, and then
it's interesting because it all kind of ties in, right? Like you have people, like the whole thing with like everybody has to be a winner, everyone has to be perfect, right? And then it's like, if somebody has something that's even like slightly different, it's like they should. That's like the irony, right? It's like they try to be like accepting of things, but then they shun the idea of things that aren't like normal in a way, right? Like if you were to say like, oh, the people, there's a lot of autistic people in the community. It's like them getting upset at us. Like, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to,
right?
Are you upset that people are, that they're saying that there are a lot of autistic people? It's like, so what's the problem with autistic people? Like, it's weird. It's like this weird, like we're the accepting ones, but actually we hate that. It's so weird.
It's almost like, if you get it down from like a psychological standpoint, the idea that if you say it comes down to the idea of there's self-doubt, right? So when you say there's a lot of autism people, they immediately get defensive, right? But you mentioned this earlier, the idea when talking about video game development, right?
Yeah.
The worst kind of narcissist is a narcissist who has tremendous self-doubt in themselves, right? where it's all self-facing. And and I think that's also kind of what social media has done is it's given all these people who are who don't have a whole lot of self-confidence this shield to put up, and then they want to, for lack of a better word, virtue signal for their cause and feel like they're the hero. Gives everybody an excuse. So and I think that's the situation right here. Like going back to this original tweet, like who is this person? Is this a YouTuber that or a VTuber that a lot of people know?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know anyone in the.
Okay, cool.
I know like Kirsha. I saw Solace in the chat. I know some people, but I mostly, like I said earlier, I mostly keep to myself. Right. I know a lot of the old guard. Like the older people that have like been around for a while. But there's VTuber debuts every day.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, I love the idea of like, I'm just gonna stick to myself and do my thing. Love it. That's great.
Yeah.
And you've been great. You've been super successful over on Twitch, which is great.
Thank
right?
you.
Yeah, that's awesome. But how long you been streaming?
Oh dear. Do you remember Own 3D?
Own 3D? I believe so. Yeah.
Before Justin, there was
Oh.
before Twitch, there was a thing called Own 3D, which is like this old streaming platform. I used to stream on there, and then I went on Twitch. It's like, man, what 2011, something like that, around that. Yeah.
So, okay, so you're like an old school Justin, like that's great.
YouTube videos and stuff like that back in the day.
Let's go.
We used to have like avatars, like little PNGs that you just put up, and then like have little different like emotions for them. You just like switch them.
Man, do you know who the first person I remember seeing that do? And maybe you probably have no idea who this person is, but the first person I remember seeing doing just that of the PNGs, the transparent PNGs with different emotions, was a guy named Still Gaming. Did you ever seen Still Gaming before?
Let me look.
Oh no. This is the first time I've looked at Still Gaming in forever, and Still Gaming is no longer a boy. Oh no. Still Gaming has become a girl. Oh no.
Wait, are they just I mean, maybe they're like just VTubing. There's a lot of VTubers that do that. They just have a girl avatar, right?
No.
I gotta say, it's pretty creepy when like a grown ass man makes a girly like VTuber, and like it looks all girly, and then there's this giant like husky voice behind it. It's like, but why? Why?
It's for the same reason that people want to play like Lara Croft, right? Like guys want to play like as Lara Croft, or you even have like the girl in Stellar Blade, right? It's just, I think it's the same thing basically.
You think so? I don't know. I feel like there's some weird fetish in there somewhere.
There might be. I don't know.
Oh no. Okay, hold on. Just a quick. This is such a callback for me, and nobody's gonna get this at all. But this was Lee from Still Gaming here, and this is kind of what he did as he went through. Was he did all these images here, and he'd put them in the corner, and he would later on. This is from 18 years ago here, but this is classic internet, and now Lee is now co-leave and is now
So it's real.
Yeah, it's real.
I see.
Wow. Man, my this is a fun conversation because I've interacted with a lot of people over the years online, and I wonder how many of them have decided to become another sex.
There's it's strange because there's a lot of pressure towards that, I feel like. Because
yes,
when you create a man, I could go so deep on this.
Go,
but I
go
feel,
deep. Go
I feel
ahead.
Like so when you create a situation, right, where you create this hierarchy of people online, right, where you have like the white male at the very bottom of the totem pole, and as you go up, right, if you are a part of that, and that you're a white male, or a white woman, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Society, like I saw this. Oh man, I saw this because of Tumblr. Like I remember, like Tumblr is where this all started. But they would say things like, "You don't get to talk because you're not as oppressed as I am."
Right.
And I imagine like these people are in this situation where they just keep getting told that, and what's the way out of it? The way out of it is to become more oppressed than the other person. So, like, I wonder how many people, and I know this isn't everybody. Like, obviously, there's people who are just trans or there's people that are just like that, right?
Mhm.
But I wonder how many people have adopted like that or like the non-binary, like or bisexual, basically, as a way to kind of escape that hierarchy.
Sure.
Because now you're at the top, right?
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to that. The idea that people joke about it all the time. The idea of, well, now look, hey, I'm a black lesbian female now. I just want to let you know that. Congratulations, Leaflit. It's me. We laugh about it, but I guarantee there have been a ton of people who have taken the system that's in place and worked that system to their advantage. And you know what? They probably should. They probably should, because we're playing this oppressor game, this oppressed versus oppressed game that, all of a sudden it becomes this thing where, hey, all of a sudden I listen, yeah, you know what? I do like men. And you know what? Here we go. And, like then you're a part of the club and you have acceptance and you get love bombed and, oh, look at how great and brave you are.
There's a lot of pressure and there's not enough. It is harder to basically go against that than it is to, pat the person on the back. I mean, I could give you, if you have time for a story. I had a friend back in the day, still my friend. I talk to them sometimes, but they out of nowhere they messaged me, right? And it was this guy. He messages me. He goes, "Hey, Leaflit, I'm so excited to tell you, I'm coming out as trans." And everybody hug boxed. I'm like, literally everybody was like, "Oh, like, so good for you! Like, oh my god, like so happy for you." I was the only person that said, "Listen, I know that you were kind of a girly guy, and that's fine. If you can be a girly guy, that's okay. If you find out in the end that this is what you want and this is who you are, I'll accept you and I'll be there for you. But I want you to make sure that this is absolutely 100% what you want and not because other people are telling you. You should go get therapy." And I didn't talk to them for a while after that, like maybe like 2 years. Out of nowhere, they messaged me and they said, "Leaflit, I gotta tell you, you saved my life because I thought about what you said and I realized it wasn't for me. And I could just be a girly guy. And I didn't do anything because of that, because of what you said." Right. And like that story, like really like just sticks with me of like just the amount of like peer pressure people have to like go on with it and not enough pushback from people. Because again, like if you push back, like you make yourself look like the bad guy, right? Oh,
Right.
like you're transphobic, right? Or well, look at you being transphobic, not supporting the person. But it's like sometimes it's harder to do the thing where you actually have concern for the other person, right? Even though it makes you look like a bad person.
Man, there's something to be said about like if you're truly a friend of somebody, you're honest with them, right? This idea of love bombing somebody because they want to be affirmed or whatever, and you just taking the second to being like, "Yo, you sure about this?" Like that's really all it took, as opposed to you just being like, "Oh, that's so great, you're so wonderful," or and like that's incredibly valuable. There you go. Oh, there you go. Check it out. Hold on. It says, I'm a guy. Thanks for the shout out. Let's go. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Khalif, are you still here, buddy? We need to get him in. Let's go. Excellent. Lee, walk me through this, dude. I'm glad you're a dude still. God, that makes me feel so much better. Lee, it's good to see you. The call out from 18 years ago. Oh, let's go. That's excellent. Let's go. All right. Sorry. That's spectacular. It makes me feel so happy now to hear that Lee is still a guy. All right. Anyway, I feel like we can go down this rabbit hole and keep going down this rabbit hole, and it'd be great. Let's go and put a pin in that for now, because I think that that's a really good discussion, though. Let's go to get a couple of these supers real fast, and then we'll move on to a couple more stories here. Which let's see. I don't even know if we've hit anything that's in our title today. Let's see. No, we haven't even talked about Dragon Age yet. We haven't even talked about. We didn't talk about the. Yeah, we did get the Harry Potter freak out. Okay, that's good.
It's fine because we still have a tech test where we can do topics there too.
We'll do those in a minute, but let's get to a couple of these supers real fast. Then I want to get to this update on Hasan, and specifically when it comes to Twitch and stuff. Paladin says, you should slime Blabs Nickelodeon style at the Real Game Awards, Craig. Also, hell, Leaflit. Love your video. Super excited to see you on Side Scrollers. Let's go. Thanks, Paladin. Marvelin says, uh-oh, Side Scrollers, but SS, Craig? Not beating the whole Austrian painter allegations, clearly. Do you know how many people were like, you should not call your show Side Scrollers because the initials are SS? Do you know how many people said that to me?
Is that real?
That's a real thing.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, I think it says more about you than it does about me. I'm just gonna throw it.
Definitely don't.
You know. Oh my God. Graham says, winning means nothing without a chance of failure. Since we've eliminated even the prospect of failure, we have an entire generation of folks who expect everyone to treat them as quote unquote winners. Montez. Let's go, Graham. Thank you very much. Profound statement right there. Adam says, breaking news, the VTuber Kirsha has overdosed on Asmongold. Her funeral will be held later this week. Friends and family will make an announcement later today. Well, maybe maybe Kirsha will have that announcement on Thursday when she joins us. So that'll be great. Tamamo says, still on Stitch, but while what people are saying is technically true, without fully spoiling it, it is spread purposely to give you the complete idea, the complete wrong idea. Peek out of context, that bugs me. Thank you, Tamamo. Appreciate that. Dreg says, Kirsha has to go into hiding over the weekend, literally in IRL, having to move someone somewhere else. Told us last Friday she should be streaming again today. Yeah, that's crazy. And this goes back to like this idea that she has to go into hiding over like wrongthink. Have you had any crazy threats like that or anything like that? You
I
have
had to like talk to the police recently, and recently I just upgraded our security. Spent about like I think $3,000 to $4,000 on like better security. Wow. So I have like like those in the movies or like in the games where they have like the panel on the wall. It just has like all the TVs on it.
Yeah.
I have one of those like right now. Like I can like look at it and I can see 360 degrees around my house, and they're all motion censored and all like infrared. So like I can know like if in the middle of the night someone's coming, and I even have my rifle right next to me.
Let's go. Good for you.
It's scary, man.
Well, they're so peaceful,
Peaceful, yes, very peaceful.
They're so tolerant and so peaceful, like
so much love. And
why do you need to invest $3,000 to $4,000 and make sure you have your gun with you at all times? Just saying, they're so peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
The legendary Golden Spork says in 2002, Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. 2025, Ohana means state custody. State custody means F them kids. Thank you. That's awesome. And then we have this from the Titterpig Rancher. It says, can we stop accepting the postmodernist redefinition of words? Lack of social and communication skills is not the same as autism. Self-diagnosis as a defense and bad behavior is disrespectful to those with the real condition. Thank you, Titterpig Rancher. Appreciate that. And yes, we can. All right. Oh, here we go. Reeve guy says, embrace it, Craig. Steam is an unadorned Hugo Boss costume. Okay. Thank you for that, Reeve guy. We'll get to the rest of your supers here in just a second. But before we do, we did get another Montez goal here at Leaflit. That's a big deal. So if you want to mind picking a number between 1 and 15, excluding 9, please.
Let's go with 15.
15. Oh, all the way at the end. Okay, this is a deep cut here. This is a deep cut.
Bitch! Montez!
I'll tell you, I will gift you 10 subs to your channel if you can tell me the game for that right there. Leaflit.
I don't know that one.
I'm going to gift you 10 subs anyways. It's a game called Growl. It's a
See,
game
I
called
actually knew that one finally. I was like, I know that one.
because we've run it like 14 times on the show.
I learned.
Oh man. Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's go to this real fast. We saw the news over the weekend that Hasan Piker was finally banned on Twitch for 24 hours. And he was unbanned
On his day
promptly.
off.
Yes,
For
on
the
his day
sixth
off.
time.
Yes. And there's been a lot of conversation about this, and you touched on this yesterday, Blabs. You talked about, but I want to kind of dig a little bit deeper here with Leaflit, who streams on Twitch on the regular here. XQC streams on Twitch as well, and he had some interesting statements about how Twitch will actually sometimes contact the biggest streamers and work a ban out around their schedule to fit, when they're going to have a day off or something along those lines. I wanted to play this video for you first here. You can check this out. So this is what he said, and hopefully you can understand him, because I have a hard time understanding anything that XQC says. But here we go.
Take off.
Okay, chat, guys. I will leak, guys. I will leak a secret. I'm gonna leak a secret. Ready, chat? Guys, I don't know if it still works like that. Back in the days, it worked like that. Okay, when you're about to get banned, they send you a DM. Your partner manager will send you a DM and will contact you. Okay, and if it's like, oh, dude, can we hold off until this day or whatever? Sometimes they'll listen. Okay, it wouldn't surprise me if they timed the ban so where like it would be his half day off or day off or whatever. It is what it is. That's just kind of how it goes. That's like, it's like a known thing. When I had my like week ban for like cheating or whatever, they're like, yeah, they're gonna get banned from this day. I just took it how it is, but I think there's like a conversation or whatever on yo, there's a week ban now, whatever. Or last time it was, oh, when you're gonna end your stream, you're probably gonna get banned. That's what it was. The one before that ban, it was, and I was like, okay, well then I'll stay live until fucking like 3 a.m. or some shit like that, because and that's what I did.
I love that idea that if Twitch tells you you're going to get banned, you just keep streaming and it turns into a perpetual stream, so you can never be banned. Let's start there, Leaflit. The idea that Twitch coming in and saying, hey, just want to let you know things are a little rough right now and we're going to have to ban you. When does your schedule look like a good banning for you?
Like, I think we all had our suspicions that Twitch never handled things kind of fairly for everybody. And I mean, it just keeps getting proven true, right? So it's very obvious that it's the case.
We've talked. We have not streamed on Twitch in almost 2 years because I'm not a big fan of their terms of service. But we have been talking internally about how it may be good to return to Twitch, just based off of the idea of doing it our way and having that alternative voice on the platform, right? Because I think the best thing that we can do is have our conversations that we have and see how long it takes for them to ban us, because they will ban us for the things that we say on their platform, or somebody will ban us. I don't know. First, do you think that we should be streaming over on Twitch?
Well, I mean, first off, it's like you said, it's another voice on the, I guess, our side of the argument. And if they do ban you, that's another data point, right? Another example of just like, I guess, the unfairness, right?
Right. And I think we all kind of see that. But now we have Hasan actually saying, like, playing the victim here and talking about how he may actually want to make his way over to start dual streaming over on YouTube as well. This is according to his Discord over here, talking about streaming on TikTok, possibly not on TikTok, but on YouTube here. And this is actually a really good question from you. Do you think he actually lasts on YouTube? Like, he's like the golden child over on Twitch. Yes. And the fact that he's felt the need to potentially diversify and stream on YouTube as well is crazy to think about.
Maybe he's taken it too far. That like not even like they can justify it now, right? At Twitch. That's the possibility. And then of course it would make sense from his point of view that he needs to diversify at that point. Otherwise, rip Bozo, right?
Right. Has he have you received any pushback from anybody over on Twitch for your comments or streams or anything that you've said?
The crazy thing is Twitch is the only one that hasn't banned me.
Really? That's
the crazy thing. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if that's just because they didn't know this yet, or I don't know. Maybe I've been keeping it. I don't know. I don't know if the answer is to that, but they haven't banned me yet.
That's good. That's a great thing. That's a wonderful thing. So maybe there's hope, Blabs. Maybe
we won't get banned off of Twitch if we do like the whole burn.
Maybe we won't. All right. We'll need to maybe explore it a little bit and see what happens. Because the original idea was we were going to go back and stream on our old channel and do all the things that got people banned and see how fast we can nuke our channel. But I think actually for the greater good, it actually may make more sense if we just stream the show there on a day-to-day basis. And part of me really thinks it'd be funny is if we develop an audience over on Twitch, we then raid all these hyper progressive channels and like we send our audience over there.
The funny thing is I feel the exact same way sometimes where like I'm about to raid somebody and I'm like, man, like, are they gonna like be like oh god, it's Leaflit?
I think that'd be awesome. Like that'd be super funny. So the idea of just sending this massive audience over to this, over to some super hyper lefty, who like, I don't want anything to do with your audience. And you're like, it's too bad, sucker. And here you go.
The funny thing is probably watching them try to play it off, especially if it's a big raid, right?
Oh man, that'd be awesome. Well, we'll see. Yeah. I can only imagine the how bad it would look if we title it the SS raid.
Oh my.
Oh no, that's not a very good thing at all. Well, I don't know. We'll give it some serious thought here as we survey our options moving ahead. Maybe we'll do that sooner than later. But there was a little bit more. I haven't seen the rest of this video. It's about 35 seconds to go on what XQC was saying. Let's see if there's actually a little bit more to this statement here.
What?
Just like to point out, he sat there, said like this dead air here. Like this is one of the biggest.
Was he DSP?
One of the biggest streamers in the world over here. What?
Yeah, they probably asked them to. There's probably a chance that they've contacted him yet, and so that they organize his ban properly. But it's not too crazy because he did the action like a day before. Also, I think manifestos are cringe as fuck. The fact that Hasan had his Chinese emote mode, yo, if I was reading this shit and I was emote mode and the chat was saying hearts and sages, bro, I would delete my account, Loki. I'm not kidding, bro. I would be so disappointed. I would actually just delete my fucking Twitch account and I would just find find something else to do. That's just fucking bullshit.
That actually brings up a really good point. At what point, Leaflit, do you look at, let's just say hypothetically, your audience turns and you're like, you know what, the greater good would be me just not streaming ever again, because maybe that's something that Hasan may be worth doing over here, is just being like, you know what. Well, I mean, he definitely believes it, but could you ever see a point to where you look at your audience, and I'm not saying your audience, but just saying in general, of just being like, nope, I'm out.
I'd probably just change the topic, basically, like what the topics of what I'm doing. So that's probably what I would do, or I would just basically say I disagree with it. Like, listen, I disagree with that, and I make it very clear when I do disagree with things that you would think I would agree with, but I actually don't.
Right. You ever get pushback from your audience when you disagree with something that I think that's one of the beautiful things about our show is like Blabs thinks some way, I think another way. But who cares? Like the idea is that we can at least have that conversation.
Yep.
I think that's like true diversity, the diversity of thought, if you will.
Yep.
Yup.
Well, no, it's just stupid that everything has to be about skin color or freaking sexuality. It's like the original definition was diversity of thought, but what do I know? Same.
You're just a girl, Blabs.
I'm just a girl in a world.
You stupid woman.
Exactly. I'll go back to the kitchen. That's gonna get clipped so badly.
Just go make a sandwich for yourself, Blabs.
I will actually right after this. I have the idea in my mind already.
No. By the way, Leaflit, this is what Blabs does throughout the show is she's organizing her sandwich thoughts while we're over here having this conversation.
What's the sandwich for today?
Well, I have leftover pepperonata, so I'm gonna have that and put it on a brioche bread and toast it.
That's pretty good.
Did you hear how just absolutely snobby she sounded when she said that?
What? It's one of my favorite things in the world.
Say that one more time, Blabs. What do you have?
Pepperonata?
Pepperonata. Hey, bada
I like food.
You sure do, Blabs. Hey, in the chat, if I could just see a bunch of these, please. Just a bunch of.
Okay,
Blabs.
so side story.
Yes,
My nephew's 3, and I taught him how to walk around doing this and going around the house and go, chow. And he's still doing it. Like a month later, he'll just be like, chow. And sometimes he'll forget because he's so young, right? So he takes his other hand and he'll be like close his fingers and be like, and then he'll climb furniture like this so he doesn't forget the position of his hands. Ciao.
Bada booming. Can you get him to do that next, please?
No.
Please,
No.
please.
No,
please,
no, that's just too much. We gotta teach him right. Although, like my mom's teaching him Italian, and he'll just blink at her and be like, ah.
He goes,
Too many
ciao,
languages.
Bella.
So many languages.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Leaflit, welcome to Side Scrollers. This is what we do.
Languages.
This is great. I like the energy here, really.
Let's go. The positive vibes all the time. Good quality, positive content. Let's go. All right. Game Hunter says, I thought there was a topic about Leaflit getting canceled when I saw the thumbnail. Choked on my coffee when I saw her on Side Scrollers. Asmongold led me to your channel a year ago. Love your takes. Oh, did Asmongold feature you?
Me? I don't think so. I think that was yeah. I don't think so. I think it was you guys. I think they were talking about you, maybe.
Asmongold featured us on his channel. Cool.
I don't know. Not me.
Okay. Jurgen says, and the VTubing space. We're talking about the English-speaking indie VTubing space, right? Jurgen?
Oh yeah, there's like a distinction between like the English indies, and that's where you get a lot of the corporate people try to stay away from that stuff. So yeah, a lot of the cancel mob, you'd say, is in the English indie scene.
You mean that all the people it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, the idea who like weren't cool in high school, so they got to be like super cool now and cancel everybody who doesn't agree with them. Great.
Exactly.
In English Americans, you say? What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's the English side of VTubing.
Oh my god. I'm gonna need to think about what Blabs and I, from a VTubing perspective, should be. You know, if anybody,
Maybe I should be a pine cone.
Pine cone. I do being like a can of soup or something.
I see. That's what I'm saying. They're just a soup can. Ding.
You ever seen Wet Hot American Summer before? Leaflet, you ever seen Wet Hot American Summer?
A movie?
What is that? Is that a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie. That's a movie we should watch together, Blabs on Plus.
Is it funny?
You would hate it, but yes, it's hilarious.
I would hate it, but it's funny.
It's dry, hilarious humor. And anyways, there's a man who gets turned into a soup can in it. So there you go. That's all you need to know. Anyways, yeah, maybe I'll be that guy. Beard says, Everyone is saying that VTubing is left-leaning, but I disagree. For there is a decent-sized right-wing chubbas, but all explicitly lefty chubbas are all tiny and irrelevant. Anime is right-wing. Thank you very much.
That is an interesting point.
Celestium says, having been thrown under the bus by Vice, criticized by Nara on his stream, and being hated in the VTuber space, we need spaces where people can share their views and have respectful dialogues. Thanks, Celestium.
Oh my God, chat's right. Maybe I should be Jose Ramirez as a VTuber.
Oh, that'd be spectacular. That'd be so good.
Just myself as a dude.
So, Leaflit, this is a little bit of lore here on Side Scrollers. Whenever Blabs has to do a little bit of digging, she has a LinkedIn for a fake. I don't know, Blabs. You kind of
so I made a fake LinkedIn account with the name of Jose Ramirez. He's got a photo and a background and everything because I didn't want to use my real LinkedIn, right? Because there's some doxing and all that stuff. So I use that for research purposes. And every time we're doing research or whatever, Jose Ramirez shows up, and maybe some sombreros and maracas do too. And he's currently studying at San Francisco University.
You know what's funny is with AI, you can totally make it even more real.
See? Oh my God, I should do like Jose Ramirez as a VTuber.
I think that'd be great. That'd be awesome. It's funny because when Jose Ramirez shows up on the show, we just have this music playing the entire time. I love it. It's so good. Is that not just the catchiest thing in the world? I love it. It's so good.
I love how I go onto LinkedIn and it's like, "Hi, Jose, are you hiring right now?" Like, this is hilarious. I gotta pull this up. Let me make sure we're okay before I do it. Yep, okay, let's pull this. Look at this.
There you go. You should put that. Yes, you are hiring. Jose.
It's amazing.
Game Hunter says, Blabs and Leaflit. I read Harry Potter back in 1999, read all the books, seen all the films. Now I'm praying for the 4th and 5th Fantastic Beast film. I don't have faith in the TV show. Just give us more lore.
Yeah, good luck with that 4 and 5. Never gonna happen. They even changed the entire company logo, so it doesn't say Wizarding World anymore, and it goes back to Harry Potter. Oof, jeez.
Mary says, Montez, part 2. Yes, we hit it. Thank you very much, Marius. Guambus says, I see the inverse. As kids move on from high school and into the real world, the quote popular kids find out that sucking up only gets so far, so they leech on to the outcast hobbies that become marketable. I went to a high school graduation this past weekend, and like for a lot of these kids, it's like the highlight of their life, but I'll say this. I hope that for everybody who graduated and is graduating right now, that high school is not where you peak. And that's where you see with a lot of with the popular kids here is they turn into Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite, and they want to talk about how they can throw a football over the mountains, but don't peak in high school, kids. Marvelin says 100% is that 100% is that. Look at sports. Why is there not a huge problem with female to male invading sports? For men, it's always one side of the equation. It's far more prevalent, especially since dudes don't talk. Scrap Gamer says, some news just dropped. Batman and Deadpool is having a crossover comic. That's interesting. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. Bjorn says, keep your rifle by your side. Thank you, Bjorn. Gnome John says, Craig, according to Blue Voldemort, his name is Hamas Diddy Bin Laden Piker. Please get it right. Thanks, Gnome John. Appreciate that. Epsilon Sama says Hasan Piker father is a Turkish multi-billionaire and has a huge investor in Amazon. Pops is the reason Hasan hasn't been banned from Twitch. Interesting. Marmalin says all aboard the trains. The SS raid has come. We're gonna distance from that one right there. Chaos Smash says first Kirsha, then Leaf. Next get Hero High and Rev. Yes, let's go. By the way, you guys have been great. Leaflet, you're super fun. We would love to have you back on again, and sooner than later for sure.
I'd love to. This was. You guys are great hosts. Thank you.
Well, thanks. That's super sweet. We'll get you out of here in just a second. We want to make sure we get any of these super chats that are specifically for you. Delta says, "Don't act confused about goblins, Craig. They're iconic in fantasy. Your favorite movie series, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit." That's right. In the film, there's a king called Goblin These Nuts. I don't think that's right, Delta, but all right. Tenarian says, weird to see Leaflit interact with others live, even though I've seen it before when she was on Base Camp with friends of Side Strollers, Simone and Malcolm. Oh, you were on Base Camp. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
Oh, Simone and Malcolm are excellent.
they're great.
I could get used to it, but I don't know if she would. I don't know. We'll see. Bantam says, hey, Side Strollers. Hey, it's the funny slime lady. Hey, Craig, Blabs, look quite surely. What have you done? Get scoundrel. Are you scoundrel? I don't even know what I just said. Thank you very much. Zeke says, Craig, can we get the jiggle cam for the fellas? Oh, we've done that a few times. Thank you, Zeke. Denarian says, I judge games by how sexy the characters are. A game with sexy characters won't necessarily be good, but you can sure it won't be preachy. I got a nosebleed while playing Stellar Blade, if you know what I mean. If that's how you know it's good. Right, Denarian, don't make it weird. Denarian says, I lift hundreds of metric tons of stuff every week at work, so I rarely have sympathy for those who whine about how tough their job is. My right bicep and shoulder's done for, but the rest of me is in excellent shape. All right, Tenarian. 90 Dragoons came in with 15. Says, losers bully the lady way, separate, then excommunicate. Words like problematic, etc., is them trying to bully you. The way you beat this is make new friends with more success without them. Eat well, get jacked, be uncancelable. Everything's gonna be fine. Thank you, 90 Dragoons. Tenarian says, maybe it's my algorithm, but VTubers in general don't seem particularly left to me, as far as at least not far left. Foxgirl VTubers, particularly white foxes, are usually based. I don't know how it ended up that way, but I find it funny that it did. Then he said, Poppy. Can we get a Poppy for Tenarian who's come in and supported today? There we go. Thank you very much. There's Poppy. Leaflet, we deliver in a major way on this show. We know our audience, and we know
Very man show.
Yes. Yan says, it's great to see the base Leaflit here. Also, hi, Craig and Blabs. If people still think it's still 2018 and still cancel people, then the joke's on you. It's 2025, baby. People have fatigue about cancel culture.
You gotta not let yourself be canceled. That's the thing.
I agree.
Until you apologize, you tell them to suck it, basically.
That's right. That's your 100%. You can only be canceled if you choose to be canceled.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Tenarian says, breaking news, Khalif is a guy. I felt bad about that. Leith, appreciate your support. Delta says, the annoying thing about Hasan is he's a Nepo baby. If he got banned off YouTube and Twitch, he would crawl his way back onto his uncle's show or on Sam Cedar, despite burning his own bridges. Thank you, Delta. All right. We have this from Zyfox says, during the Kirsch cancellation, Asmongold talked about how Leaflit got dragged into it.
Oh,
I
didn't even know that one.
Bonus. Bike Short says, I definitely peaked in high school. Don't like me, chat.
Damn.
There you go. Azarahara came in and says, VTubers are mostly lefty women. VTuber audience is mostly center to center right men. There's a disconnect between audience and creator usually. Also, Blabs, got your VTuber concept. AI is OP.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That is awesome. No Name says, hey, Craig. Happy to see you're still thriving after Screw Attack missed your humor. Leaflit, I recently started watching the YouTube channel and love your content. Has anyone wifed you up yet? Will apply.
I'm an anime character.
There you go. Just slowly, just backing away. Hey, and thanks so much for your support. Rary says, Leaflit is here. This is legendary. Yes, been a phenomenal show. Says, why are Fox ladies so based? Smugalana and Kirschis. Thank you very much, Rary. All right, awesome. We did it. We made it through the show and nothing broke. It's a good day. Leaflit, it has been excellent having you on. It's been super fun.
Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun too.
Yeah, totally enjoyed the conversation. I appreciate you waking up early to hang with us. And hopefully we can drag you out of bed another time and get you on. Excellent. Will you please fill everybody in on where they can find you?
Twitch. I'm on twitch.tv/Leaflit. Channel is Leaflit Asari on YouTube. Probably the big thing I want to talk about is if you're into Dungeons and Dragons, which, as you know, has gone a little bit on the woke side, and you want something that's not woke, you can check out our TTRPG called Angel Sword Lyrian Chronicles, and that's going to be on rpg.angel. I'll link it in the
Yeah, please
thing.
pull it up.
Yep, and it's free to play. Anyone can play it. The manual is free to play. We use we just go by Patreon. Whoever wants to support us can support us. But free to play, anyone can play it.
Let's go.
It's made by two game designers. And the game, probably the biggest selling point is that the game's updated every 2 weeks. So balance changes, new classes, new races, they all come out really, really fast. So you don't have to wait like in Dungeons and Dragons when something is super broken. You have to like wait forever for them to fix it. If they even do fix it, it's going to be in like some weird like little blog post or something. Like we actually have like versioning on the website. So we kind of took like concepts of real video games, and you can actually like click on the top like on the hamburger, and you can see like you can actually change the version. So if you want to play like an older on the top left, there's a little hamburger. Yeah, and you could basically change the version. It'll actually downgrade the version. So if you want, so you say you make like a class and you're like, I want to play the unnerf version, you can like actually go back in time and like look at all the versions of the game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I've worked on the internet forever. I've never heard this thing called a hamburger before. That's hilarious.
That's what people. I heard it recently. People were calling it a hamburger, so I just started calling it a hamburger.
I love it. I love it. Cool. All right. Well, look, everyone, head over there. We'll put a link in the description if we haven't already. Blabs, yeah.
It's already there.
Excellent. What a stud.
Thank you.
What a producer, huh? I'll tell you what.
Thank you so much.
Leaflit, thank you again. Before we go, Hell came in, says, is that Leaflit from the tabletop RPG Lyrian Chronicles with an MMO living campaign? Yes.
Oh, I forgot to mention that. We have an MMO TTRPG part of it. So if you want like sort of an MMO RPG experience, but it's like tabletop, we do have something like that. And that one is like paywalled though, because it's a lot of effort for us to do it.
Sure.
But there's like over 80 players right now, and like it's like all sorts of stuff happening in it.
Let's go. Cool. Awesome. All right, everyone head over there. We'll put a link to it in the chat, and appreciate it. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. One last quick call out. Please check out our sponsor today, Into the AM. You can get all sorts of clothes for a super duper cheap price, and you get 10% off using our promo code. Link is in the description as well as the pinned comments. Seriously, load up now. It's a great deal. I'm literally going to buy stuff as soon as we get done here. Appreciate you guys popping in. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out, and we will see you guys tomorrow when we're back at it again. We have a wonderful Wednesday show planned. Blabs, who do we have?
So Maui is unavailable tomorrow, but Yumi in the movies Eric is showing up to say hello.
Ooh, should be a fun one. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. We'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Fatality.
Later.